Alright guys, I'm starting this up, waiting until I can find on Facebook, hopefully get a few of you in here. What I'm going to be working on is one of the ways I did a page for our page swap that we do in the group. This was the paper pad I'm using now just because I'm really in the need for fall already. I don't know why. I mean, we got a little bit cooler weather, and now I'm like, bring on fall. Like, I so even wore a sweatshirt the other day. Maybe it's because my house is really cold. Alright, I'm finding the video. Oh, yeah, I don't want to hear myself. Okay, there we go. So, at least now I can see comments if anybody has any. Other than, be quiet. That would be me. Oh, stop talking. So I kind of gave a list of supplies I was going to use. Here's the paper pad, all of my little tools and doohickeys, my wet glue, I got glue stick, as I drop things, and I am going to try this Tombow glue that Kelly sent me. I haven't tried it yet. I know, I'm horrible. Anytime I get anything, I just like put it in a separate area from anybody. It's like, I don't want to use it, I want to save it forever. So here are the 2 pages that I'm going to use. So what'll end up happening is they'll get glued back to back like this so that it becomes one double-sided. Still don't think there's anybody in here, but you know, it's Sunday and we all have things to do. One of the things I do when I sew is, wrong glue, let me try this one, is I go through and I put just a little dot of glue right on the holes that the thread came out of, because I don't want to do the back and forth, you know, when you stitch back and then you stitch forward. So I put just a little tiny drop of glue on each one. That way, if I decide to cut them, they're secured. If I decide not to cut them, they're secured, all that good stuff. I've been going back and forth on if I'm going to do any sewing on this video, and I'm not real sure because, I don't know, I just feel like it's going to be really loud. Okay, I think I got all of them. And I'm working on a cheap cutting board from Dollar Tree. I'm trying to wait for the video to catch up so I can see if I've moved it around and got out of frame. I saved my bits that I cut off just so I can try to work them back in here maybe. I guess my first question is, which one am I going to use for the front and which one am I going to use for the inside? I'm going to fold these in half just so I can have an idea of my working surface. I'm thinking I'm going to use this one for what I'm calling the front of the page. And I guess it really doesn't matter, you just flip it around. Hey, Miss Kelly. Look, I was just saying I was using your glue. And I'm just kind of going back and wiping off any of the excess glue on those. I don't know. A lot of times I like leaving the tails from the thread as much as I can. Sometimes I have to kind of get rid of them because it starts looking too crazy. It's alright, I haven't said anything really besides that these were the 2 pages that I'm using to glue front and back. And I said that I go through and put just a little drop of glue on my thread so I don't have to worry about them coming undone. All right, so this is gonna be my front, this is gonna be my inside. So it'll look like this. When it's completed. I think what I'm going to do is use this small piece to make one of those flat pens, I think is what they're called. And I just grabbed this one out of my stash of pens that my kids are actually allowed to use. And Gary, I may be a little territorial about good pens. So what I'm going to do is kind of mark how long I want this, because it's going to come up, let's come up to about there. This is probably bigger than what I'm going to end up needing at the end, but I can always trim down the sides later. Just kind of mark that right there with my nails. Can't really see it, but trust me, it's there. I'm going to fold over so I can show you better. Okay, I'm really shaky today. So I left just over a ½ inch longer than what my pen is. And I'm just going to snip off the extra here. I have my cutter out, but I positively hate it. It doesn't have a long enough ruler. I don't know. I mean, I got it because my big crazy cutter would take up half my table when I'm doing this, but I don't love it. So I'm gonna go with the tacky glue only because I'm not sure how hard this glue will end up drying. Hey, my other Kelly. We got the Kellys here. And what I want to do is just put a decent bead, maybe. I just opened this up. Come on, work. Maybe. Maybe, maybe, maybe. Maybe not. Maybe I won't be doing this. Maybe I'll find out. Yeah. I got glue all over my hands. Alright. Why aren't you working? I'm assuming I didn't cut it down far enough. Alright, we're going to go for a really big hole on this. Yeah, I'm going to end up throwing all this. Alright, let's see how this glue works. Okay, here's the big end. And I will say on these flat pens, I have found that if you use a thinner paper, it works a whole lot easier. It's easier to kind of fold and manipulate around the pen. But the thicker paper does work. It's just a little bit more of a pain. So what I'm going to do is just basically glue my pen down on that piece of paper. I'm going to put glue all over this one side. I want to go get, why isn't my tacky glue coming out? I don't want to use all this. Okay. Stop whining about your glue. Then what I'm going to do is just set this other paper on top of it. Like so. Like so. And what I'm doing is kind of pinching that ink in the middle down, or pinching the paper down and around the pen inside there. And it takes just a little bit because you want to keep working it as it dries. And try to get it somewhat in the middle. I don't know how much that matters since I'll probably end up trimming this down. But whatever. That's what I'm going to do. And you want to kind of, well, I'm going to use my nails. But you want to kind of pinch that paper down onto your pen as much as you can, because that's really what's going to hold that pen in place. Look, I'm being good. I'm actually using one of the score tools my husband made for me. I'm so horrible about just using my nails. When I started doing all this, I was like, I am not going out and spending hundreds of dollars on all kinds of gadgets. I can find workarounds. So sometimes it's just a habit at this point to not use gadgets. So like, what was that, guys? Professor Gadget, something like that. That cartoon when I was a kid. Go Gadget. Work with me. Work with me. Okay. So now that that's glue is starting to tack, I'm just going to let it continue to cure. Set it to the side. I know on one of these I didn't line them up the best. You can see a little bit of the white right there, but I'm not worried about it. We'll trim it up and hide it here in a minute. All right. So I'll end up making probably a small pocket for the pen to go into. Let's see. I'm going to grab some of my book page over here. Seems like we always have so many books lying around, but I really like the way that they look when I kind of distress the edges and make them into pockets or whatever. Besides that, they're cheap since I already have them. And it's just basically wasted material at that point. I am going to have to... Alright, hold on one second, guys. No, wait, hold on. I might be able to use this. I don't understand why there is something hard in the center of here. But there is no way I'm going to use all that aqua glue on this. Okay, yes, there is a way, because apparently that's what I'm stuck with. I'm going to use my glue stick then. I got a couple pages of a book here. I'm going to take 2 of them. Use my glue stick. I'm not worried about this being extra, really secure, because I'll probably end up sewing around it here in a moment. Go Gadget! Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, it's not about the way it goes. It's like, oh, you have 2 seconds. I want food. I'm hungry. I'm bored. Okay, so I'm going to glue those 2 together, and then I'm going to take another 2. You obviously don't have to glue your book pages together. I'm going to use them for a pocket. So I want them a little more sturdy. Well, Kelly, I'm sure this is going to take me forever to make, so we'll see you when you get back from food. So I'm going to use this here and probably glue this side down so it will have like that big of a pocket. Let's go with that. I don't know what I'm doing. You know what? Even though I was going to trim that down, I think those 2 together is just too big of a pocket. So maybe we'll go with 1. What do we think? Because I'm going to trim down the sides. I think 1 page folded in half is a big enough pocket. We'll go with that. We'll go with that. It doesn't take long in a video for me to say that, huh, Kelly? So I folded over maybe 1/3 of it. So that now we have a pocket here, and I'm going to make this side probably a tuck spot. Let me use my most hated paper cutter ever. No, I have no idea what size I'm making those or dimensions or anything like that. It's just basically put it on there and wing it. So that will go here as a pocket. Well, a pocket and a tuck. What I would do, and I'm not going to do it now because it's going to be really annoying, would be I would sew across the top. And since I've already put the stitches here, I would just sew all the way around to make it give the appearance of being sewn on the paper when I made it. Yep, let's go with that. Oh no, they're gonna starve to death if you make them wait for too long. So yeah, that will go there. I'm not gonna actually glue it down at this point because I want to sew it and I don't want it to be really loud. I think I'm gonna go ahead and cover this text though with another piece of this paper. Let's see. I really do like this paper pad. It came out, like I said, I think I got it last fall. I hope they have it again this year. But if they do, I probably won't buy it again just because I already have one. And I'm a paper hoarder, so no, why buy another one? Oh yeah, I know, because if I bought another one, I might use them. Alright, this paper's crazy enough, it'll give me a headache. So what I'm going to do is just kind of eyeball where I'm going to cut it at. Leave a small amount of gap around it so that you can see that there is some paper, even though I can't see the line that I just made. Maybe I shouldn't have done the pen first. I probably should have done the pen last so I could have actually used it. We're going to say that's my line. Or as I say way too often, we're just going to go with it. So that would get glued there. I don't need it to go all the way down underneath that pocket because it's going to be hidden. Hidden, hidden, hidden. I mentioned in the last 2 minutes how much I hate this paper cutter. Thank you. I like this paper. It's all fall and bright colors and, well, I mean, I guess bright colors, but not crazy bright. So this piece will get glued here. My fingers would work. This piece would get glued here so that it'll look like that. I'm trying not to stick my arm in front of you a million times. And I'm just gonna go around my edges. I feel like when I do these videos, I'm like my daughter when I ask her, are you afraid of silence? Are you afraid that the house is too quiet and you must talk? Yeah, I can't cut straight to save my life. Well, like that big paper cutter I have has a, like a vice, crimp, something like that that holds the papers down when you cut. Yeah, I still cut them crooked. I think the thing I've found that I like the most is just a ruler, a cutting board, and like a utility knife. Try not to cut my fingers off too often. feel like one of those kids. Look, Mom, I have all my fingers still. Which, with my wonderful relationship with table saws, that's probably a small miracle that I actually have them. Yeah, like I said, I use everything and anything other than the tools that are actually meant for the job. So I'm just going around the edges here. I'm not worried about gluing the center down, because once I take this to a sewing machine, it'll help secure it a lot more. Kelly, I'm about to find out how well this glue works on a sewing machine. Because I don't know why, I've tried using that like double side tape seam binding, which I would think, considering the fact it's seam binding and it sounds like it was originally made for sewing, it would work, but I find it's horrible on my needle. Makes everything jam up. Oh, you're about to get all crazy. I hit my cord when my dabber tool went flying. All right, Kelly, I do officially love that glue. But I'm probably going to be an extreme hoarder of it. Yes, it's crazy awesome. I don't know, I'll have to check my craft stores. I haven't seen it, but to be honest, I'm usually just kind of in and out looking for the same things I always get. So I have to pay more attention. All right, so that will go there like that. May end up using this to tuck the pen into. Won't be able to go down that far because the stitches will be probably right about here. So yeah, I think that'll look good. I'm going to say, Kelly, with this glue, when it dries, does it make the paper hard? Like, I know with the tacky glue, if I use it like on this pen, it'll make the paper a lot firmer. Yep, I eyeballed that completely wrong. And I actually kind of like that sometimes and don't like it other times. So I just kind of feed that off. I'm going to attempt to do a little bit of a round corner. I watch these videos where these people can cut like nice, perfect round corners. They can do tags without some form of template. I can't. $2.99, use coupon is cheaper. Okay, I'll look at Michael's. I don't know, Joann's has kind of annoyed me here lately. They got rid of a lot of their paper crafts. And I still love all their fabric that they have, but they have like no paper crafts. All right, so there's the pen that will go in there. I'm trying to remember everything that I had on that page. Oh, here's something I wanted to try. Okay, so I got this little brad with a pretty picture on it. Let's go back to this paper. I'm gonna cut off a chunk and use it kind of as a journaling card. I have no idea how this is gonna work. It may be one of those, okay, I just showed you what never to do. Could be god awful. It could be. We don't know. We don't know. I just had this idea the other day and I haven't tried it. And I don't know if I've really seen other people do it. I'm sure someone has. It's not like I'm the mad genius of all this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to poke a hole through here and through my page. And since I can't find my brad setter, the We Are Memory Keepers, which is kind of disturbing as big as it is, you would think it would be easier to find. I have this little hand hole punch thing. I don't know. I got it at Walmart the other day, school shopping with my kids. It was like $1, so I wanted to get it. But it makes a much bigger hole than what I'm used to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this brad to stay on there, hopefully. So my idea was that obviously I got to mess with that more. You could kind of swing it out of your way. And I may end up putting like a piece of paper under here or something that you can journal on. So it'd be kind of like that hidden message. Not very well of a, not a very good disguise, but you could write there too. This isn't going to drive me crazy at all. I have no idea why things take me so long to get them done. Stop fussing with it. Put it down. Walk away. No, I gotta get this one little spot. But I wanted to put it on the side that I was gonna glue together so that the brad doesn't get in our way. Hey, Rhonda. We're watching me mess things up and have no idea what I'm doing. So that would be there. Another thing I put on the other one was I took my book page again. And I'm just gonna fold it up however you want to fold it, because we're gonna make like a belly band out of it. Which, by the way, whoever came up with the name of this as a belly band, I don't know how much I really like them. So I'll put this one on the cover, like so. But it's a little longer than what I want. So I'm gonna snip, snip. I probably cut that too small at this point. Yeah, I don't love that there. So since I cut it a little smaller than what I wanted, I'll do a corner tuck for it. That's what I'll do. Because what are we doing? We're just going with it. Why? Because that is what I always do. Yep. Why actually mark something the right way? Alright. This could be why I make a lot of mistakes I have to fix. It's because I don't do things the right way. I just used my nail to mark where I wanted to cut that off at. Because I'm going to put it kind of like that. Right there, I think. Get that back out of my way. Tell you what, I think I'm going to cut this in half so it's not as thick. Woohoo, I'm shaky, shaky, shaky today. I feel like I'm trying to catch things flying around. So I'm going to go through and just put some glue. Because it doesn't really matter, I just want to be able to glue these sides together. So that they'll stay on here in one solid piece. la la, we're distressing. Yeah, apparently I am afraid of silence. I must talk. It's too quiet. Nope, no idea where my daughter gets it from. Oh, I am completely talking to myself at this moment. I'm hoping I didn't lose video, which I probably did. Hashtag sucky internet. Or hashtag I talk way too much. But that is what we're going to go with right here. So, I feel like I should just go ahead and glue this stuff down, and I'll sew around it here in a moment. Now the other one that I did, I'm not, okay, yeah, I'm not talking to myself. It just doesn't show on mine for some reason. It doesn't show anybody in the group as a minute for a odd minute. I feel like I should glue that down, but I don't think I'm going to. I'm obsessed with sewing on pages. I think that's why I like junk journals, because I used to sew a lot when I was younger, and I like paper crafts, so this is kind of like a cool, I can mix it all together. Do we like it up there better? Because at least the writing's going in the right direction. Alright, since my video's lagged, I'll wait for your answer. On the other one that I did, I just popped in a couple brads, more for decoration to hold it there. This one I probably don't think I will. I'll just do the sewing across the sides. So, there's that. So we'd have this up in either the corner here or up in the corner here, which I'm still waiting on you to tell me what I'm doing because I don't know what I'm doing. This, okay, I need a mason jar for trash. That's what I'll use. Because I use them for everything else. Why not for trash too? Or papers I want out of my way. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay, I like that. Since I got this other one sitting here, I'll glue this together real quick. I glued the wrong side of those together, but it doesn't really matter. We'll just fold it the opposite way. We'll go with it. Hey, so your kids aren't starving to death now? You got them some food? I mean, you really hate that. I don't know why kids have the ability to starve to death so much quicker. I try to tell mine that they have, what is it, 3 weeks without food before you actually die, but they don't go for that. They're more on the 3 hours without food and they may die. Yet to be determined. Alright. What I really need to do is pick up some of those baby wipes that everybody uses to clean up, but I haven't, so I just wipe them. Wipe off my mess. Alright. So, Kelly, you were saying put one here and then take this other one and put it like up in that corner. Oh, I like that because then my writing's not upside down. Okay, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I want to glue this down so you guys can see what it's doing, but I need to sew too. All right, gluing it down. I'm impatient. So I'm going to put just a little bit of glue, do my little glue line. All right, I love how that glue gives me just a little bit of a line, but I also feel like it's something I'm gonna have to get used to. It doesn't quite, I guess, make it a big enough line to begin with, but it does give me more control where I'm not squeezing it out everywhere like normal. All right, well, I'll sew it afterwards. I'm gonna glue some of it together so that you guys can kind of see what it looks like. And then I'll sew the rest of it. Ah, all right. Come on, work with me. So I'm gonna trim off that little piece. This is probably why I should have actually marked it and not done a let's make a mark with my lines and cut it there and call it good. So I'm gonna have to go back and trim just a little bit on these. So we got those two tuck spots on the outside. We got our little hidden tag there. Our book page pocket tuck spot. I'm going to show you how I glue my pages together as often as I can. Yeah, it allows for more control, but I don't do well with control. I need it to magically do it for me. I have found with my sewing machine that if it's going to mess up, it's going to mess up on the bottom side. So as often as I can, I try to sew, especially if I'm doing like a cover, the two separate pieces and then glue them together. Just because there is nothing worse for me than getting completely done with everything else, going to sew the cover and messing it up. Because, you know, I would never do that. Only for like a million times. Alright, I put a little wet glue on half of that. I'm going to go over on this side and put a little glue stick. Just because I find the glue stick doesn't really hold that great. But it's a quicker means of getting a bunch of glue down. So a lot of times I'll use it just to kind of hold the inside of the page. Yeah, that thing. Try to line my edges up, which is easier said than done with me. And that brad is really kind of in my way and annoying at the current moment. At this point, I'm going to act like my blending tool is a brayer brush, or brayer tool. Yeah, I think that's what they call it, like a brayer tool that pushes it down for you. Okay, only put that brad there if you really want to mess with it. I don't know if that was one of those, oh, Eureka, that was such a smart idea, because it's really in my way and annoying at this moment. So what I did was I only glued down half of my page. So this side is still open. And I'm still fussing with that. What I'm going to do on this side is I'm only going to glue the two edges, and I'm going to make like a little book to go in here. I feel like when I do these, I try to throw everything at them. I don't know, it feels weird doing a swap and not putting a bunch of stuff in there. So I'm like, oh, I have tags everywhere. I have pockets everywhere. There is no place for you to write. So that's why I've just been trying to come up with a way to put a little bit of writing space in them. So glue across the top. That is one thing I have found that's a pain about gluing two pages after I've already sewn them, is getting the two sides to kind of bind together, because it seems like the stitches want to hold it out of the, hold them apart from each other. Yeah, that word. Yeah. I'm still gonna have to go around and trim up some of my fabulous cutting job. I guess the good thing about these lives is I have no idea how long I've been here talking. So now that I have those glued, this is driving me crazy. Okay. Now that I have those mostly glued, get out of their string. I guess the nice thing is when I go through to distress the edges, it'll hide a lot of how I messed up. All right. So that's there. I have no idea what I did with. I grabbed some paper. Anybody know where I put it? Did you take it? Did I eat it? I thought I grabbed paper. I had some like elementary paper. All right, whatever. I can't find it. So, never mind. So I'm gonna want to snip off like that much. Oh yay, it's my Mickey Dizzy paper. All right, my snip off this much. I don't remember. Oh, there's my line. There's my line. That I can't see with the shadow on it like that. So we're gonna guesstimate that that was the right spot. So instead of making a little book out of notebook paper, because I can't find where it is, I'm going to take this other piece of scrapbook paper and I guess just fold it up and make some type of tag or some type of little journaling card thing. Yeah, we'll go with that. I was watching this video yesterday. I think it was by like it was Artsy May, I believe. And what she was doing was anytime she glued a pocket together, but wanted to be able to move along, like I'm going to do here, but I have to stop. So that's going to slide in this pocket that we did right here. Can't do that yet. She put a piece of like plastic in the pocket. so that the pocket wouldn't glue down on itself. Or if she had glued on some lace and wanted to be able to turn the page, she would do the same thing, put a little piece of plastic in there. And I was sitting there going, that is such a smart idea. I don't know why anybody else hasn't thought of that. Or maybe they had. I just haven't seen it. Okay. So this will go in there as a little journaling spot. Oh, what else was in there? Oh, I made journaling cards. But all I really did, and I really shouldn't do this if I'm making a swap for somebody. I feel like it's kind of cheating or not putting as much effort into it as I should. But in these paper pads, they have these cards. And I love them because they're all like made to go together. All the colors work. So what I had done was basically cut out a few. And I used some for, I think I used at least one for a tuck spot in the corner. But because I didn't really do much to them to make them, you know, I just felt like I wasn't putting much effort into it. So what I had done was went around and did some sewing around most of the ones that I used. I don't remember if there were tag shapes on that page, but I would have added some lace or ribbon to the top hole. Maybe set an eyelet in there. I don't know. I mean, I love using them because they're pretty and they all seem to go together. But I also kind of feel like I'm ripping somebody off, so I have to do something on them. I don't know. Was there anything else that was on that page? I think that was most of it. Because here's this. That's how I did the journaling cards. I don't know why. I love making journaling cards. As soon as I cut the little tab corners and put lace and stuff in the middle and make it a tag, I hate doing them. I don't know why that makes such a difference in my head. Hey, Teresa. Not doing much. I'm sitting here trying not to glue myself together. I found these little hearts. It says made with love. I have no idea where I actually bought them from. Ooh, I hit the cord again. You're going to get shaky. But I know I've seen them on like Wish. They were in with all my bead making stuff. And I'm not sure how this is going to work out. And not too horribly. I'm not sure how long it would stay. But I just attached the pin underneath the thread. Kelly, was there anything else on that page that you wanted to see? Because I don't remember everything that was on there. So once I need to sew this one at least. Look, Teresa, I made a little, I don't know, journaling card that swings around. It's actually more annoying to work with than you would think. But I thought it was a cute idea. I don't know how much I love it now, though. Alright, I'm going to go with there wasn't anything else on that page. Because I don't remember what was all on it. No, that one was on the one I did for Alexis. But I can show you real quick how I did it. all I did was, before I glued my two halves together, was I took the paper I wanted, okay, that's glued together, the paper I wanted to flip, I think that one flipped down, but I'll show you how I did it with the flip out one, is we're going to pretend like this is going to get glued together, even though that's my little pocket. I glued a piece of paper in between the two so that you just had that one piece of paper that kind of did like a flipperoo. Now I will tell you, oh, okay, whatever. The one thing I found with that was using the harder paper stock, okay, let me say that a little more intelligently. Using the heavier cardstock made it where, I don't know if you can see this, when you fold it over and over and over, it kind of takes away the color in the middle. So the one thing I would have done different was probably either use like a book page, maybe a coffee stained piece of paper or something that didn't have the color right on that crease. That's probably what I would have done differently, because that was the one thing I didn't like about it, that I kept driving myself crazy trying to figure out how to fix it. Oh no, it's the dork squad. Alright, so I'm thinking that's about it. Is that about it? We're gonna go with that's about it. I'm gonna go see if I can figure out what in the world is going on with my tacky glue. Like, it's ridiculous. Why is it not coming out of the hole in the middle? It's attacking me. I did. Like, I did distress over it, but I don't know. I don't. It was just one thing I would have done differently. It worked out, but it was kind of a pain. Alright, guys, it's going to go blurry so I can pull this down and stop this recording. See you all later. Hey, sweetie. I see you. No problem. It was just, I haven't really been in a crafty mood, so I figured if I did something like this, maybe it would get me back into it. Bye, guys.